And then there were 12. Good evening, race fans from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. From the Toronto Lakeshore Speedways, we're getting set for race number 24. And most importantly, the first race of the round of 12 for the PCSRA Foster Series as we come to you under the lights from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. About to start the first race of the second round, the round of 12, which will comprise of 3 night races. Toronto, next week's race at Las Vegas, and our second elimination race from Memphis. Emmanuel Hartnett sits on the pole position, his second pole of the season, alongside of 3 non-playoff contenders, excuse me. They are Carlos Sinat, who's starting second, comes in his race 34th in the point standings. Cody McGorvick and his teammate Daniel Witter in row 2. McGorvick 19th in points. Daniel Witter dead last, which is 36 in the point standings. Your 12 drivers that made it into the next round of the playoffs are Cody Smart, Emmanuel Hartnett, Jackie Tang, Jesse Art, Sam Davis, Noah Platts, Nick Voiles, Sean Art, Caleb Hobbs, CJ Bracken, David Heller, and Quentin Moores. We're going to go ahead and get these cars rolling off the track. Of course, all 12 of them come in this race tied at 8,000 points. You can check down the description for the official starting lineup for tonight's race. Last week at Ricky was our first elimination race in which we saw the departures of Shane Lake, Zachary Taylor, Kyle Langland, and Nathan Orman, who were the 4 drivers that got eliminated from the championship after the round of 16. So for those 4, they are looking to finish with as many trips to victory lane as they possibly can. Of course, you have 12 drivers who are battling for the championship. You have another 24 drivers who either want another win or have not been to victory lane this season. 60 laps, 60 miles around the Toronto Lakeshore Speedway. This track is similar to Hillside and also to the USA version of Dover. As the pace car is off, Emmanuel Hartnett going to lead us to the green. 36 drivers. Glad you're along for PCSRA Night in America. The round of 12 is underway. Let's go racing, drivers. Hartnett got a good start there as he's going to take the lead. Cody McGorvick right there. Going to try to take second. There's Kyle Langland, who just recently got eliminated from the playoffs last week at Ricky. Just trying to finish what has been a very good rookie year for the Illinois driver. They're nearly 4 wide there. And with a couple of playoff contenders. Oh, dear. And around goes Sam Davis. CJ Bracken is in it. Zachary Taylor's caught up in it. Big wreck in turn number 3. And I see a number of playoff drivers involved. Jackie Tang, Zachary Fitzwater, Heather Gallant, Nathan Orman, who got eliminated, David Heller, a playoff contender, Sam Davis, CJ Bracken, Chase Brooks trying to leave the scene of the accident, Kaylee Rankin, Jamie Pintor, Remy Crampton, Jared Underhill got a small piece of it. Ian Griffin involved. Yellow number 1. And that all started when they went 4 wide going in the corner. Let's see what caused this. Looks like to me Jesse forced this issue 4 wide. And y'all know 4 wide is never a good idea, especially on a 1 mile track. And Toronto's just like Dover and all that. What goes up must come down and vice versa. Jesse Art hooked CJ Bracken, took both of them into the wall, so you can add Jesse Art to the list. There's Taylor getting involved. David Heller gets a piece of it. Shelton gets a piece of it. Look at the job by playoff contender Quentin Moore, who barely made it to the next round of the playoffs. Shelton goes upside down. nearly gets on top of Zachary Fitzwater. Nathan Orman, who just recently got eliminated from the playoffs, got a little piece of it. And Jessica Shelton was upside down. Looks like her night's going to come to an end. A lot of damage to the Universe card. There's Jackie Tang. That's another playoff contender. I don't know if Nick Voiles got a piece of it or not. Ooh, contact between Remy Crampton and Ali Liera. I don't know if Nick Voiles got a piece of it. I think he got through it somehow. I couldn't tell because of the shadows. But that's a lot of playoff contenders involved, and that happened right at the front of the field. I know this track is a 1-mile track, but probably drivers were having troubles with grip. And I also noticed another playoff driver didn't take the green. That's Noah Platts. So Noah Platts is going to be in big trouble. As out of the race is Zachary Taylor, Jessica Shelton, and Jamie Pintor. But Noah Platts out of this race, and Noah Platts is going to be one of the drivers in the danger zone heading into next week. Right now, the 4 drivers in the danger zone right now will be Sam Davis, David Heller, CJ Bracken, and Noah Platts, who did not even take the green. Not entirely sure what happened to the 21, but that's a tough break for Noah Platts. And I talked about it in the first round. You know, 1 bad race, you guys are got to be in recovery mode. 2 bad races, you could be facing, like what happened to Nathan Orman and Zachary Taylor, a must-win situation. Watching basketball, but I turned the volume down so I can concentrate on this race. They're at the half right now as I'm recording this. And Emmanuel Hartnett trying to hold off Kyle Langland. Of course, Langland got eliminated from the playoffs last week. But Kyle looking to finish his season on a positive note as he's going to go around the Smithfield Ford. Hartnett, by the way, is the highest of the playoff contenders. Quentin Moore, who got through that wreck, is now 3rd. And the caution's out for the 2nd time tonight. Carlos Sanat, Ormy's in it, Ian Griffith, Jared Underhill. And they're wrecking, I think, in turn number 1. As I went too far. Darn it. They were wrecking in turn 1. But looks like the 47 was involved in whatever this incident was. Let's see what happened here. It's been a rough year for, looks like Chase Brooks pushed up the track and got in the 42. And nowhere for them to go. And I think Nathan Orman just made a big oopsie because he went down on the apron. When you get on the apron, you're going to slide up the track, and he got into Paul Minnick. And then wham! The 47. And then there's the shot by the 6. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Nathan Orman. Last week got eliminated. Oh, that's what happened there. Daniel Witter, and who was that on the bottom? Oh, Daniel Witter, and oh, that was Fitzwater. Fitzwater nearly wrecked the Monster Energy Toyota. That was what I was trying to say, but Nathan Orman, it's been a rough couple of weeks. He got eliminated last week, and well, not the way he wanted to end off his night. It's been a rough couple of races in the playoffs for Ormy. Got put in a bad situation, had to be in a must-win situation last week, and now this week. I think Ormy's just going to be glad he's going to get out of Canada. He's out of the race, so is Jared Underhill and Ian Griffith. Griffith's had a rough year, 27th in points. Jared's 22nd in points. And, of course, Ormy's going to end up finishing dead last in points because, like I said, he was recently eliminated from the playoffs. So So Hartnett will restart second. Quentin Moore third, as we're going to look for the rest of the playoff contenders. Cody Smart in sixth. Shane Lake, who just recently got eliminated, he's running in eighth. I'm in my room, by the way, recording this race, so I'm not getting interrupted. Jackie Tang is 12th. Caleb Hobbs is 16th. Jesse is 19th. Going further down, Nick Foyles in 21st. David Heller, 27th. CJ Brackett in 28th. Where is Sean Art? He's in 11th. Okay. As we're back to green flag racing, David's got no hood. And Sam Davis, one of the playoff contenders, is off the lead lap. How many laps down is Sam Davis? He's 1 lap down. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the only playoff driver out of the race is, of course, Noah Platts. And Noah Platts will definitely be in the danger zone heading into next week. Which next week we're heading to Las Vegas, another night race. Unfortunately, it's going to be a late race, however. 10:30 or 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific. Yellow again. Oh, wreck. Bradley Reams involved. Oh, big wreck. Sean Art's in it. One of the playoff contenders involved. Jesse Art is also involved. Cody McGorvick. Boy, 2311 Racing has had an awful year. Bradley Reams up in smoke. Bradley Reams done for the night. He's had a rough year. Ever since he had to replace Remy Crampton, it has been an awful season for that 22 bunch. Oh, Quentin Moore got a piece of it. That's another playoff contender. Oh, my. Yep. Hooked them both into the wall. And that was for the third position, sorry. So Q-Man's going to have some damage. That's not good. Oh, Cody Smart got a piece of it. He ran it back. That's what bottlenecked everybody else up. Sean Art got turned by Heather Gallant. And, yep, Jesse did get a little piece of it. Nick Voiles did get a piece of it as well. Oh, and then Cody McGorvick got turned. Looks like he hits the inside wall there. I think that's what spun his car around. And then, oh, Ali Liera just hit the DoorDash Toyota. Boy, 2311 Racing has had a pretty eventful year so far. They're ready for this season to be over with. Bradley Ream, I think he's done for the night. Hate that for Kyle Langland. If this was an elimination race, he would have been the highest playoff driver last week. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, you know, he's just out here just trying to find wins to end what has been a very good rookie year so far for that 48 team. Talking about Rookie of the Year, that Noah Platts came in this race as the rookie points leader. The gal that's trying to run her down for the Rookie of the Year points lead is in fourth. That's Jalecia Kuzman. She's second in the Rookie of the Year standings. Shelton's already out of the race. She came in third. And, of course, the sucky part for Nathan Orman, he's 10th in the Rookie of the Year honors. As we're back to green. Lap 20 going to be completed. 40 laps of racing to go. No fuel issues here at Toronto. We've had 94 drivers make a start in this series. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Ooh, Manuel Hartnett nearly got into the left rear. Nearly spun Kyle Langland around the Ally Chevrolet. That was a bit close. Ooh, Sam Davis roughing up Jalecia Kuzman. And Kuzman's trying to capitalize on the misfortunes of Noah Platts. As looks like Cody Smart just came off pit road. And Bradley Ream is done for the night. Tough break for Bradley Ream, 35th in the points. He's been down there in the points ever since he replaced Remy Crampton, who had to replace the ejected Lainey Fredrickson after what she did to me. Caution's out again. See who wins the battle back to the line. Looks like it's going to be Hartnett. I don't know who this yellow's for. Might have been Jessie Art, because she's the one at the rear of this field. So another caution here. And indeed, I was correct. And she collected Kate Anderson and Kaylee Rankin. And around went the jockey Chevrolet. She noses it in the inside wall. Of course, there's no safer barriers. Oh, 38 got a piece of it. Ooh, Sean Art nearly hit his sister there. Tori Gossett got a piece of it. That just kind of sums up Tori Gossett's season right there. And, of course, Tori Gossett not returning to this 38 ride next season. Well, after the rough year, she's only had one top 10 in 23 starts this season. That tells you why she's not going to be back in that ride next season, which is a bit of a shame. And, you know, the sucky part is, you know, Quentin Moore is already in the playoffs, and, you know, Tori Gossett's just been blown out of the water by Q-Man. And, well, Tori Gossett's out of the race, and so is Kate Anderson. Kate came in this race 24th in the points. Not sure what she's doing for next season. Right now, Emmanuel Hartnett, playoff contender. Nick Voiles is up there in 6th. And I believe that, yeah, that's about it as far as the playoff contenders are concerned. Everybody else is outside the top 10. But remember, for Emmanuel Hartnett, if he goes to victory lane, as well as the remaining 11 playoff contenders, doesn't matter what happens at Las Vegas or at Memphis, they will clinch a spot into the Elite 8. Which the first 3 races were won by non-playoff contenders. Hartnett trying to become the first playoff contender. In fact, all 12 of the playoff contenders trying to become the first one to win a race and lock themselves into the round of 8, so they do not have to worry about racing their way into the Elite 8 when we get to our second elimination race at Memphis. Because when the checker flag waves at Memphis, 4 more drivers are going to get eliminated. So this is really a key part in this race. And, of course, a couple of them are currently in good situations right now. Hartnett's leading. Of course, if he wins, he moves on to the next round. Nick Voiles is in 6th, so he would be in a good situation. So would Caleb Hobbs, who is, by the way, 10th, well, would also be in a good situation heading into next week. As Langland, I believe, got the wall again. There's Nick Voiles. Trying to think who would be... Oh, yellow's out. Sean Art, another playoff contender who's had trouble. He was the one that got spun. Oh, Chase Brooks got involved. I didn't see that. Quentin Moore's involved. That's the second wreck Quentin Moore's been in tonight. As he gets sideways, David Heller got a piece of it. Boy, Toronto's not being very kind to our playoff contenders, that's for darn sure. And then, oh my goodness, the 15 hit a glitch in the wall and goes flipping. Holy cow. I've never seen that before at this track. And of course, Chase Brooks is upside down. And here's the thing, like I said, what goes up must come down. And he's going to remain on his roof. Top break for the iRacing Ford Mustang, excuse me there. Thought it was a Toyota, it was actually a Ford. Chase Brooks 30th in points. He's only had 5 top 5s this season. He's now out of the race. Right now, David Heller, CJ Bracken, Cody Smart, and Noah Platts will go into next week's race. As things stand, those 4 are in the danger zone. On the bubble is Sam Davis. But we know Noah Platts will be in the danger zone. And probably that's a karmic retribution for Noah Platts for what happened a couple of weeks ago, where he was not paying any attention and took out the race leader, so that was called payback's a bitch. So we're going to come up to 25 laps of racing to go here at Toronto. We're back to green. But Cody's got to hope and pray. And looks like Cody's badly damaged. Cody's damage is worse than Sam Davis's. Because Sam Davis is still up here with the leaders. Cody Smart didn't get a good restart. I think the damage is worse on Cody's car. So that means I would be correct with Cody Smart, CJ Bracken, David Heller, and Noah Platts heading into next week's race, basically in the danger zone. And those 4 are going to have a good recovery when we go to Las Vegas next week. What Emmanuel Hartnett just needs to do is survive this race, and he's off to the next round of the playoffs. Got smoke in turn number 3. I do not know if that's a yellow or not. There is no yellow. That must have been Quentin Moore again. That would be his 3rd if that is indeed Q-Man. Or no, it was not Q-Man. Oh, it's Jackie Tang. He's blown up. Jackie Tang is out of this race. That's a playoff contender. Oh, and Jesse Art was involved. But there was no yellow. Oh, boy. Hard in the wall for the both of them. That would probably tell where the smoke came from. It came from the 1 of Jesse. And we've had a wreck in turn 3. Yellow is out. William Davis, Zachary Fitzwater, Paul Mennick have crashed. Wait, do I see a playoff? Cody Smart's crashed. That's another playoff contender. He's out of the race. What has happened here? So a bad night for Cody Smart, and that's female abuse for William Davis, who wrecks Jalecia Kuzman. Remember, Kuzman's trying to run for the points lead in the Rookie of the Year on her. She got rudely dumped. And then nowhere for Cody to go. Nowhere for Paul Mennick to go. So William Davis got karmic retribution. But Cody Smart... So that's 2 more. So that means 2 of our playoff contenders are out of this race. Smart and Tang. And boy, Cody Smart's going to be in the danger zone going into next week. Jesse Art got a little squirrely. Ooh, that's big for Cody. That's big right there. Cody Smart is going to be in the danger zone going into next week. Oh, Cody did not need this. Quentin Moore's out. Well, I take that back. Sean Art's out of the race as well. As we're back to green, I don't know why Sean's out unless he got caught up in that wreck. So now that settles it right there. We now know the 4 drivers in the danger zone. They will be Sean Art, Cody Smart, Jackie Tang, and Noah Platts. I didn't realize Sean got a piece of it, so the good news is Sean Art wrecked the field. The bad news is he might have put himself in the danger zone heading into next week. Tell you what, Emmanuel Hartnett wants to move on to the next round. And that's a huge helping grace for Sam Davis because he was at one point flirting with the bubble. So Quentin Moore is out of the race as a result in this crazy wreck fest here in Toronto. But now we know who the 4 drivers are in the danger zone. So for Sean, Cody, and Jackie Tang, they got their work cut out for them as far as trying to get into the next round of the playoffs. It's not going to be easy when we go to Vegas next week. Of course, we're going from Canada to Nevada. Of course, this track also will host the finales for Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Monster, and the AutoZone Amateur Series later this year. Jackie Tang. Actually, a lot of drivers are going to... This is going to be a bit interesting. Who's going to be in a good situation? Who's in rebound recovery? I know Noah Platts is going to be in rebound recovery. And, of course, we'll have the non-charter qualifying next week at Vegas for real. Jesse Art's going to be in an interesting situation. Her brother's going to have to fight his way out of the danger zone. So Sean's got his work cut out. Quentin Moore's going to be in a not-so-good situation heading into next week. So I think if I'm David Heller, Sam Davis, CJ Bracken, Quentin Moore, and you're barely above the cut line, I wouldn't be feeling safe about where they're at. I know Noah Platts is going to find himself in a pretty bad position. And like I said, those 4 will need a good run next week. Because if Noah Platts has 2 bad races in a row at Las Vegas, then he could head into Memphis in a must-win situation. As Emmanuel Hartnett is 5 laps away from being worried-free. Hartnett will also take the points lead heading into next week's race. And of course, Hartnett will be worry-free. So he can end up starting and parking at Las Vegas and Memphis, and he knows he'll be in the next round of the playoffs. Because it won't matter what happens to him in those 2 races. He can worry about the round of 8. Oh, Hartnett got the wall there. 3 laps to go for Emmanuel Hartnett. And he'll be the first playoff driver to advance into the round of 8. which would be big. Caleb Hobbs right now would be second in points. Nick Voiles would be third. Jesse Art would be fourth. Sam Davis would be fifth. David Heller sixth. CJ Bracken seventh. Quentin Moore will be in that critical eighth position in the points heading into next week as we are about to take the white flag. Emmanuel Hartnett was in the same position back in 2016. Couldn't get the deal done as he's going to take the white flag. The Arizona driver on his last lap, trying to get his second win of the year and, more importantly, a spot into the round of 8. Hartnett's got to avoid CJ Bracken. That was really close. As Emmanuel Hartnett comes off turn 4, Hartnett will win at Toronto. Emmanuel Hartnett will win the Toronto 400, which I forgot to tell you the race name, which I apologize for that. But most of all, Emmanuel Hartnett has moved on to the round of 8. Regardless what happens at Vegas and Memphis. And he becomes our first playoff driver to punch his ticket into the round of 8. Standings are now official. Emmanuel Hartnett. Congratulations to him. So close for Kyle Langland. Great run for Kyle after he was eliminated last week. Same with Shane Lake, second and third. Daniel Witter, fourth. Nick Voiles will come away with fifth. He'll be in a good spot going into next week. Same with Caleb Hobbs, who finished in sixth. Scarlett Wallace, Cody McGorvick, Kaylee Rankin, and Jesse Art completed the top 10. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff drivers who finished in the top 10. Where did the remaining 8 drivers finish? Sam Davis came home 14th. David Heller 16th, CJ Bracken 17th. Quentin Moore 18th. Out of the race with a valve. And then, as I mentioned already, Sean Art 23rd. Cody Smart 24th. Jackie Tang 25th, as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. And then Noah Platts, who's not even listed, out of the race after mechanical failure. So now the 4 drivers that go into this race in the danger zone next week are Noah Platts, Jackie Tang, Cody Smart, and Sean Art. Those 4 will need a recovery at Las Vegas, because if they have a bad run like they had tonight, they could find themselves going into Memphis in a must-win situation. But Emmanuel Hartnett will not worry about that, as he'll go to victory lane for the second time this season. He will take the points lead, and regardless what happens the next 2 weeks, he is safe knowing he will be in the round of 8. Thank you all for joining us for tonight's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We showed your full finish results. We'll show your rookie points, your overall points, and playoff points heading into our pre-race show next week at Las Vegas, as you've been watching another broadcast of PCSRA TV, the best in racing since 2017. Good night from Toronto.